Sports. We're talking NBA playoffs without Nelson again, who was the one that suggested all of this stuff. And of course, where is he? I don't know. He doesn't know. Nobody knows where he is. But anyway, we got Mr. Mclain with the Lakers. We have Mr. Cliff representing Miami Heat. We got Carl, who represents everybody but himself.
Come on, you're a Wizards fan. You gotta be
fan.
proud of where you finished in the Eastern Conference this year.
Such a disaster. Always a disaster. Last championship, 1979. I have no reason to talk to anybody like that.
Who was the number one scorer on that team?
On that particular team, it was Gus Johnson.
Was Ansel on that team?
Ansel
yeah,
was
okay.
on that team.
Manute was not.
No, not at all.
Okay.
You're talking about almost 10 years after the fact, but you know who replaced Ansel? Rick Mahorn.
Oh, yeah, yep.
So, a little history for you folks, but we're not talking history. We're talking about the here and now. So, let's get on with it. So, with the playoffs, what do you see going on with the Knicks and Heat, Mr. Cliff?
I see it's going to be a 6-game series. It's just going to be that. There's no reason for us to go to Game 7. We had a close game last night against Game 2 with the Knicks, and it was a gritty fight. It was a close game right into the fourth quarter, and in the fourth quarter, Jalen Brunson played like he was an MVP, and he was taking a shot. He was very confident, which took us down. I'm not going to lie. Very disappointed Bam.
Yeah, he didn't have the game that you wanted to, especially. Yeah.
Especially, he was supposed to be the second man on the team.
With no Jimmy.
No Jimmy. He was supposed to take. He was scared. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like he was scared for him. And the thing is, like he's going against a roster with Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, Mitchell Robinson, and so on. It's just like we should not be this close.
Well, Robinson has size. You got to think about it. He can't shoot free throws. He doesn't do a whole lot. He's like a Kevon Looney light. I think that's right. Because he just attacks the offensive glass. He's a really good defender, but he doesn't do much else. And that's going to be a tough matchup for Bam. But Bam is skilled enough with his ball handling and his shooting and his touch to pull him out of the paint. And take advantage of that because it'll open up the rest of the lane.
Yeah, and then Jimmy can run through or anyone else because we still have slashers and shooters. We got Kayla Martin. We got Gabe Vincent. We got who else? We got
Duncan's a
Max
spotter.
Shooters.
He's not.
Yeah, but he's now playing good. I haven't seen Duncan since 2020 finals. Let's be honest.
Yeah, let's be real. He disappeared from the roster.
But he's coming back. He's making up. It doesn't matter about the regular season. It's the postseason that matters, and that's all.
Well, and that brings me to a good point. For example, when he says last night, this is Wednesday, May 3rd, for whenever this gets posted or whenever you guys watch it. But Embiid just won the MVP award last night.
Congratulations, finally, after 2 years.
And it shows you it is a regular season award. Everybody knows that. And Jimmy Butler will never win an MVP award in the regular season.
Yeah, of course.
And let me interject here. One thing I forgot to mention that we're at Terry's Pub and Grill in Ocala. I'm going to post the link and post the address. So check that out. And I'd like to thank them for hosting us for our podcast today. So, are y'all done talking about that series? We're going to go to the next one that's happening with...
Back to Heat next.
Right.
Back to my point. Embiid won the MVP last night. I think that Jimmy's never going to win a regular season MVP award. But if they hand it out, and I know this year they're handing out like Western Conference and Eastern Conference Finals MVPs. I think one of them's called like the Larry Bird Trophy or whatever.
Yeah.
if they get that far, he'll win. But there's no playoffs MVP award like there is with the NHL.
Which they
But
should.
Butler would, not every year, but as of right now, Jimmy Butler is, and it's still early. It's the second round only, but he comes up big in the clutch moments, is what you say.
Especially in his game 5 against the Bucks when he made that tying shot in less than 2 seconds.
Yep.
It was supposed to be for somebody else, and Jimmy said, "No, that's me." And guess what? He came up, we went to overtime, and we won the game.
Yep.
And that's all you need. 5 games.
So you got
surprise.
Heat in 6.
Oh yeah, Heat
in
6.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I agree. I have Heat in 6 as well, and for a number of reasons. The Knicks are a good ball club. They're up and coming. Jalen Brunson really impressed me this year. He should have been an all-star over Julius Randle. The fact 100%. That Julius Randle got that nod was upsetting to me. And I've talked to my buddies off the show. We've all agreed on that. But the Heat have been here before. They're experienced. They have Kyle Lowry, they have Bam, they have Jimmy. They've been through it.
Yeah.
And they also have guys who just want it more. They have, half that.
Undrafted.
Robinson was undrafted. So was Strus. So was Vincent. Those guys are undrafted. They're gritty. And Lowry is a veteran. He has that that proverbial dog in him.
Mm-hmm.
And they stole game 1
Mm-hmm.
at MSG. And game 2 last night. The Knicks won, but they struggled to beat
very
them.
close. 6 games, 6 points.
Without Jimmy. They beat a Jimmy-less Miami Heat. And I don't think that...
Barely.
So that doesn't give me a lot of confidence in New York.
And see, here's the thing. Organizations win championships. Look at how the Heat is structured. It's
100%.
Rally. They know how to win. They know how to set up good teams.
Culture.
Exactly. The culture carries that franchise.
It's not James Dolan.
Exactly. And he's just now learning how to structure everything. And even a dumbass can run a team and get in the playoffs and go deep.
And run, every once in a while, the squirrel can find the nut, per se.
Hell, even in football, Dan Snyder almost took his team. You see how everybody reacted when I said that, right? So even back then, Dan Snyder almost took his team to the Super Bowl if they got past Tampa Bay in that playoffs. That was the one year where everything clicked, and of course he found a way to F it up.
And it takes to win a championship. It takes great players, obviously. It takes great everything. But to be consistent and win multiple championships, it's from the top down, from ownership to the GM to coaching. Because you look at the example that comes to my mind when you said that. Steve Ballmer bought the Clippers.
Yeah.
He brought in Kawhi, he brought in PG, but they haven't won anything.
Exactly.
They've been a complete, I think,
waste of money.
Complete massive failure. The Clippers PG Kawhi era, massive failure. They haven't won anything at all. They haven't even have they even made a West Finals?
No,
they haven't even made a West Finals. But back to my point, or our point, Heat in 6, for that reason that the Knicks have not impressed me so far. And it's good for Madison Square Garden in the city of New York. I think the fans, obviously in any situation, like it when the Knicks are good. But in New York especially, the city buzzes when the Knicks are good.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But Stephen A., your Knicks are not making it. I'm calling you, you're never going to watch this, but Stephen A., I apologize. You are not making it to the East Finals. Heat in 6.
All right, so who do you have in the other series?
You want to start staying in the East?
Stay in the East, and then we'll go to the West, the real series.
What is it, Philly and Celtics?
I want to say Brooklyn, but obviously
it's
not true. It just ended. We're trying to catch it because it's first, second round just started, and we're getting into it here, and it's... Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So, I like them. I don't know how I'm feeling. This is going to be a good season. I believe it's honestly going to go to 7. Yeah, and you have Embiid, Maxey, and James.
Maxey.
And then you have, who else? You got Malcolm Brown. And then you got, who else? JT, Brown. You got
we're not going off of notes, folks. This is coming straight from the heart and the mind over here, so don't think we're ESPN.
And that's what I believe.
If we're on ESPN,
you know that's actually an insult to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're much better than ESPN.
If we're on ESPN, we have to either be riding somebody real hard or be a hater and then just say the most blasphemous crap.
Yeah, just to get your attention.
For a few examples, Skip Bayless, Colin Coward, Kendrick Perkins, Paul Pierce. I have never seen anybody as much as Skip Bayless be so happy over another man's failure than when LeBron James fails. Not the point, but yeah, go ahead.
Going through that series, I feel like it just depends on who wants it more. You've seen both teams go deep in the playoffs. You had the one with the Raptors in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
They went to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
And you also seen the finals last year with JT. He's hungry for a chip. And I truly believe that he will get his chip soon. What is he, like 23, 25?
He's a little bit. I think he's a month either older or younger than me.
Really?
He's either 24 or 25.
25.
Yeah, he was
Let's just go
98.
25.
Yeah, and he's got a young.
And he's playing like he won the first ever Larry O'Brien MVP last year for the East. Yeah, last year.
Did they have it last?
Yeah, they had it last year.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, the
that was
Larry
the first
Bird
year,
trophy.
the very first one. And I'm telling you, there might be another person this year because Jaylen Brown is playing better. I personally feel like he's more consistent. He's more ball dominant, especially when you need it in the clutch. He's not scared to take the shot. Let's be honest.
You said something off camera earlier, Mclain, about Jalen Brunson that was interesting. You kind of felt like
Jalen Brown.
Yeah.
You said something that his game had leveled off a little bit over the past 6 months.
Well, I think it. So who do you have? Who do you have in 7?
Celtics.
You have Celtics in 7.
7.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you would ask me who was going to win the championship in December, I think the clear-cut answer would have been Boston. They were playing like the best team in the league.
Yeah.
I think they were like 25-6 or something at one point.
Mm-hmm.
They were the best team in basketball.
They were.
And then the past 3 or 4 months heading down the stretch, they're still a good basketball team, but I think they leveled off and came back to, regression to the mean.
Yeah.
And they have not impressed me all that much. I mean, Philly is a good ball club too, but Philly took care of their business. They beat Brooklyn around 1 and they swept them.
Yeah.
So let's be honest, Brooklyn, after they traded away Durant, was not trying to win a championship.
Yeah. They were just happy they got in the playoffs.
And Boston, I thought, got pushed further than they should have against Atlanta. I don't think Atlanta's that good.
Trae Young did his thing. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but
Trae
if you take
Young
away
did his
Trae
thing.
Young, who else is going to beat you?
That's true, but I mean that
John
one person
Yeah.
against a whole team. That's
Yeah.
a lot. That's like LeBron versus the San Antonio Spurs?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But I think that it was a more competitive 6-game series than
Oh,
I
of
thought it
course.
would be.
Yeah, 100%.
I did not see the Hawks winning 2 games in that.
Yeah.
My bottom line is the Celtics have been vulnerable. But I still think that, especially with Embiid's health up in the air, that the TV's on behind us. And they said they expect Embiid to play tonight in Game 2 at the Garden in Boston. So him coming back will certainly help Philly. But I see that Marcus Smart coming down the stretch, he just makes big plays defensively.
Yeah.
They're more experienced in the playoffs. They've come up in the big moments. And I could be wrong, but I'm going to say Celtics have home court advantage. They don't have home court advantage right now because they just lost at home in Game 1. But they get Game 7 at home in their building. And Harden is not going to drop 45 again.
Yeah.
I say Celtics in 6, just due to the experience of the guys like Smart and Horford. And then they have 2 big scorers. Yeah, Philly has them too, but Embiid's health is up in the air. How healthy is he really?
All right. So I have the Celtics going as well, just as I have the Heat winning. So who do you see going to the finals out of the East?
Out of the East.
Oh, Heat.
Just straight up.
Heat.
Just Heat. That's
Heat.
it.
Heat. That's
Are you saying that as a fan or are you saying that as
Both.
an analyst?
Both.
At least he's honest about it, folks.
Yeah, 100%.
Mclain?
I, just based on, again, it goes back to who's the hot, in the playoffs, it's who's the hottest.
Yeah, at that
right
moment.
now,
Yep.
It's Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And Miami is going to go to the East Finals, and they're going to play Boston, and they're going to beat them. Wow.
Oh, thank you.
Is
That's
it going to
awesome.
be, well, I don't know how many games,
I hope it goes to 7. I like to see a good fight, me personally.
I'm going to take a wild pick here and say Miami in 6.
you think they take one. And Miami is, okay, and here's the reason, my reasoning is, I have Miami is, when we talked about the guys like Duncan Robinson and Strus and Vincent and Caleb Martin, all these guys that weren't supposed to be anything, and now they're in a deep playoff run.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Especially Vincent and Strus and Jimmy Butler and Kyle Lowry. Those 4, to me, are obviously way more skilled than, not all of them, but Marcus Smart comes to mind when I think of Kyle Lowry.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry is a more skilled Marcus Smart.
Mm-hmm.
So they have 4 or 5 guys who are just gritty and tough and are just dogs and want it that way. The Celtics have one guy, and you need that guy. But I think the Heat just have too many of them, and are also knock down their shooters.
Yep.
And Butler can lock up, Tatum.
Oh, 100%.
And Adebayo can lock up Jaylen Brown.
Lowry's
a little small, but I think Lowry can guard Brogdon. He's got the strength.
He does. It's just, I don't know why. I just believe they will win just because the Celtics like to play 6-7 man rotation, the same people. That's a lot of minutes on these players. The Heat, we can plug in anyone, and that's what makes us better. The deeper it is and the healthier your players are, is the better chance in the finals. I truly believe.
The key, and we talked about this off screen before the playoffs even started. The key to the playoffs is the Heat had the best defense in the NBA in the regular season, points wise and statistically, and all the analytics. That's what they use nowadays. Analytics. All the numbers, the Heat were in the top 2 or 3 in the NBA. And I said the Heat are going to make some noise in the playoffs this year because the game slows down a lot. It becomes a half-court game, and defense wins championships. And in the first round, the Heat completely flipped the script on an offense, and we're the best offensive team in the league.
We were supposed to be in the playoffs at that point.
Do I think that the Heat are going to be the best offensive team in the league? No. But do I think they'll be a middle of the pack enough, and their defense will get them to win games in the playoffs? Yes. And that's why defense wins championships. I'm not saying the Heat are going to win the championship, but that's why I have them coming out of the Eastern Conference.
Very good analysis. You see why I don't have to say anything on the show. These two got it over here. And see, Nelson, this is what you have to do.
You got nothing, Nelson, because you didn't show up.
That's crazy.
We're all good. We're going to talk about the West now. So we're going to get into that Denver-Phoenix series. I see that going 5 games.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't see that being the match for them.
Well, especially because, we're a little bit late on, obviously, some series are just started, some of 2 games in already. Obviously, it's already 2-0 Denver.
Exactly.
And Game 1 was not competitive.
No.
Game 2 was more competitive. And when Phoenix traded for Durant, the sports media and all the the water cooler circles, everybody talked about, oh my God, Phoenix is going to be this, and it makes sense because they have a really good starting 5. DeAndre Ayton can be a top 10 center in the league. I think he's not always, but he can be.
Yes, sir.
Durant is, in my estimation, the stats. Obviously, LeBron has the most points of all time, and I'm not talking about leadership. I'm not talking about defense. I'm talking about pure scorer. When healthy, I think Durant is the greatest scorer who's ever played this game. I don't know if there's anybody. I mean, he can do it all.
Yeah.
So, and then they have Booker, and then they have. But my point is, their starting 5 was lethal, but they gave up so much depth when they traded for Durant to go all in. And right now, and yes, it could flip heading back to Phoenix in the desert. It could flip, and maybe when we're sitting here, it's 2-2 and it's a different story.
Yeah.
But I just don't see that because they have no depth. Denver is really deep. And Jokic has been able to unlock Aaron Gordon. I don't know if anybody has followed Aaron Gordon's career at all. I'm sure if you remember, he got robbed in a couple dunk contests, and that's all he's known for. But in this past year, he's been unlocked by Jokic, and Murray has come back looking like 2020 Murray, which is good for him. Porter Jr. He's healthy.
He's healthy.
He's
That's
healthy.
all that matters. That's all that matters.
He's healthy. They're just really deep. And I have Nuggets in 5. I think the Spurs. Wow, I was going to say the Spurs. Why am I thinking about the Spurs? But I have Nuggets in 5. I think the Suns get 1 at home. I think it's Game 4 just to hold their pride. But they have no depth, and CP3 is now injured.
Yeah, a groin injury.
And CP3, Chris Paul is one of the, in my estimation, the greatest playoff chokers of all time. If anybody disagree with that. Devin Booker is nothing more than a glorified scorer.
Yeah.
Doesn't play defense. And Durant hasn't proven that he can win anything in his career.
By himself.
Well, and nobody wins anything by themselves.
Of course.
But where it's the clear-cut number one, yes, this is my team. Yeah. I'm going to go join a team that just made the finals.
Yeah.
So I have Nuggets in 5.
Nuggets in 5? I believe it's going to be Nuggets in 6. Just because I believe as a scorer, Durant is going to blow up. I know he will. Especially, you got to remember, these are 2 people that can drop 40 any night they play.
Yeah.
And you gotta
That's a
remember,
great point, yeah.
you have if CP3 comes back in Game 5, if they can last it, he can distribute that ball. He does not need to score. But honestly, his choking record is undefeated. I'm not.
So you think, and you make a good point.
Yeah.
Durant and Booker get enough points to get
Yeah.
the 2 wins. You think that it goes 6, or do you think Denver goes back and beats him in Phoenix? You think it goes 7 because of that?
I don't believe he's gonna go 7 just because I've seen all these teams together, and other than the Nuggets, because they really don't have any playoff experience like Kevin Durant, Devin Booker.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they've had a couple short.
Yeah.
Since 2020, they've had. They've made some runs here and
Yeah,
there, but they're
exactly.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, like last year, how far they went? Semifinals, the Suns, or the Western Conference?
Second round.
Second round, yeah, exactly.
Semifinals. Yeah, and then in 21, I don't remember what they did in 21.
21, they went to the finals. They went against Bucks versus Suns that year.
No, you're talking about
Yeah,
Suns.
yeah.
I meant
Oh, you're talking about the Nuggets.
yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Other than that, the Suns.
Suns got bounced
They-
last year in the second round in an
Yeah.
embarrassing Game 7.
Yeah.
Not the point, but
Yeah. Paris.
Seems pretty definitive about that series. Let's talk about the Lakers.
Ooh.
All right, I'm gonna have Mclain.
Yeah,
you want me to
Mclain
start?
first.
Oh, I wonder.
Yeah.
Okay, so totally removing bias out of the way to start. I think most people would agree that this series is the most intriguing series in the playoffs. Even if you're not a Lakers fan, if you're not a Warriors fan, if
No.
you're a basketball fan, these are 2 good basketball teams.
Yeah.
And in the playoffs, as I've said before, the game slows down. But the other thing that happens in the playoffs is the team that you have been all year.
Mhm.
You are that team in the playoffs. Excuse me. And people are like, well, that doesn't make obviously. No, I'm talking all the trends that. For example, the Warriors do not shoot a lot of free throws. They have not shot a lot of free throws all year. They're not a good. They don't take a lot of free throws because they just don't get to the foul line a lot. The Lakers shoot the most free throws in the NBA. They're very, very aggressive and they live in the paint. The Warriors live on the 3-point line.
Yeah.
They live and die by the 3. And can you blame them?
Yeah.
They've got Curry. They have Tom. They have the 2 by volume greatest shooters of all
Yeah.
time.
2 best backcourt shooters.
And Jordan Poole can get it going when he gets going. Wiggins is a good shooter. My point is they live and die by the 3.
Mhm.
And the Warriors, the Lakers live and die in the paint. They shoot a lot of free throws.
Yeah.
My point, so just to get to it, I have Lakers after last night's game. Great game, by the way. Just entertaining, tough battle.
Mhm.
Lakers in 6. And a couple reasons why. The Lakers are not going to beat you from the 3-point line. They need to make timely 3-pointers.
Mhm.
And last night, the Warriors had like 17 threes. Lakers had like 5. But they made timely threes. I remember it was 105-95.
Right.
Curry went down and hit a 3 over Vanderbilt to make it a 7-point game. That place was rocking.
Right.
Very next possession, Jared Vanderbilt, timely 3 from the corner to make it a 10-point lead again.
Yep.
But you saw in the first round, we knew Sacramento wasn't going to do anything. They didn't play any defense the whole regular season. And again, it showed up in the playoffs. They lost. But they're also young, and I think they're going to be
Good.
They'll be
good in the
Yeah, they'll be
future.
back
But they
next
need to
year.
get another defender outside of Davion Mitchell.
Yes.
Yes.
Not the point. But the point is, this is a totally different team the Warriors are facing than the Kings. Kevon Looney killed the Kings on the glass because
Woo.
Domantas Sabonis is not known to be a great rebound. He gets a lot of rebounds, but
He's better. He's no passing.
he's not known to be a defensive stalwart.
Right.
And Kevon Looney had 26 offensive rebounds in the first round. He killed them on the offensive
That's
glass.
a lot.
A
When
lot.
you get a lot of offensive rebounds,
Extra
you get
possessions, especially
Exactly.
kickouts for 3-pointers.
Exactly.
Yes. And
He's
he knows-
not going to be getting a lot of offensive rebounds
Mhm.
against Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
Oh, of course
He's
not.
just not.
Yeah.
So therefore, that part of the aspect is out of it.
Yeah.
Kevon Looney is not going to guard Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
You already
He
know
can't.
it.
He just can't.
Klay Thompson is a great shooter. He is. But he's not nearly the defender that he once was, and you
Yeah.
can't count him in the defensive end of the floor. Curry can get it going offensively. We know that. He can
Yeah.
light the place up. But I saw something last night. The Lakers they made it hard for Curry by one. Vanderbilt did a really good job following around that basketball court, making it tough on him. He's going to make his shots, but you got to make it hard on him.
Yeah.
And the other end is they made it hard on him by they weren't scoring on it per se, but they were engaging Curry in all the actions to get him to waste the energy on the defensive side of the ball to try to slow him down on the offensive side of the ball. And guarding Curry, Thompson, Poole is hard because you just run and it's a track
Yeah.
meet, and you know that.
Mhm.
But
let me ask this: the winner of this series, are they the NBA champions?
I have the Lakers over the Heat. Yeah, and I can't lie, there is bias there, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But from what Rob Pelinka did to bring in the roster that he has now,
Yeah.
It's very, very deep. And D'Angelo Russell, yes, he makes some stupid plays.
Mm-hmm.
But when they got nothing going in the past 2 games, he has been that guy for it didn't even need to be the whole game. It was a 2 or 3 minute stretch there where he made he made threes.
That's what they need.
And it was clutch, timely baskets.
Yeah.
And Davis is a defensive stalwart on that end of the court. If he can stay healthy, I don't think they have an answer for him. And LeBron can conserve his energy enough so when it does come down to the crunch time, he can take care of business. Now, LeBron was not that good in the first round. Statistically, he was not that good. I think they're a little bit tired because they had to work really hard to get to where they're at.
Yeah.
And he needs to be the LeBron James that we all know him to be.
Well, historically, when has LeBron ever had a good first round?
Yeah.
I mean, he always warms up and
Yeah.
then he gets going.
And last night, you could tell these teams were very familiar with each other. I don't know if anybody watched the game, but obviously I watched it in depth. They're very familiar with one another. And you saw that there wasn't a whole lot of a feel-out process between these two teams. It was, okay, we've seen you before. We know what you're going to do. We know what I'm going to do. Who's going to be able to do it the best and who's going to make the most timely plays. So I think that I'm getting off track, but my main reasons, Lakers in 6. Number 1, they already stole game 1. Warriors don't have anybody who can guard Davis. The offensive glass is nullified for the Warriors. And the other big key factor, the Warriors needed to win all their home games because they were and are the worst road team in the NBA. For those who don't know, there's 41 road games and 41 home games equal 82 games in regular season.
That is correct.
Good basketball teams like to go 75% at home and 50% on the road. 20 wins.
Mm-hmm.
That's typically the teams that are left out of the 8. They have between 18 and 22 wins on the road. The Lakers were a good road team this year. They won 25 games on the road and were 60%, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
The Warriors won 9 road games in the regular season. That's less than 25% of your road games. So that is the main reason why I have Lakers in 6, because they stole game 1 last night. I don't think the Warriors are going to win in LA at Staples. I don't care that it's called Crypto Dot Stupid Whatever Arena. It's Staples. Get it right. Anyway, I think the Lakers take care of 3, 4, and 6 at home. It's going to be a hard-fought 6.
Yeah.
Because there's just too good high-level, and that's what you want to see in the playoffs. You want to see high-level
That's all
This
basketball.
is a legacy series to me, folks. Because
Yeah.
it's like whoever goes on from this series, and if they win in the finals, we haven't gotten to our finals picks yet. Plus, Cliff has to say who's going to win this series and so forth. But I see it. I see this going 7. I see the Lakers getting out of there in 7.
You do, so you think the Warriors get one in Staples.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, because, I mean, you can't discount outside shooting team.
You can't, you're right. And you saw it last night, even when they were down 14. The Lakers had a stretch where they didn't score for 4 minutes and 14 seconds, and it was a 1-point game.
Even though the Splash Brothers aren't like what they were and so forth,
Yeah.
all it takes is one game to get hot.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
that's how I see it. I see that going 7. I see the Lakers getting out of there in 7.
And whoever wins this series, I'm a Lakers fan, clearly. I just want to see high-level basketball played in a hard-fought series, and this to me is the most intriguing series out of any of them because it's the highest. I think it's the 2 highest-level teams that are left in the playoffs. But you can go, well, they're the 6th and 7th seed. Everybody knows if the Lakers had the roster they had now at the beginning of the year, they would not be the 7th seed. They would be they'd be the 2 seeders. I mean, they started 2-10. The Lakers are not a 2-10 basketball team, and they proved that.
yeah.
But that's what you want to see: high-level basketball.
I agree.
But I have Lakers in 6, even though you do make a good point.
Yeah.
I still have Lakers in 6. I've been talking way too much. Go ahead, Cliff.
See, I would pick either Lakers in 7 also.
In 7.
Just because of the fact that it comes down to, like I said earlier, health. Because, like I said, both knows each other, both knows how each other plays, both have experience with them, and both have experience playoffs. I believe I'm gonna say threes are more than twos. Let's just be honest. And if you can get off that, threes are more than twos. So it's hard to keep up with all these players and all of them. Like you said earlier, how if they can keep Looney from getting the buckets, like what he had last night against them. 23 rebounds, and then LeBron had 11. Yeah, he's not going to get rebounds off him. Yeah. Like, let's be honest. So all we have to do depend on the 3-point line. But having them, Poole is inconsistent enough for me to be second or third. Anthony Wiggins was the second player last year, but Anthony Wiggins, Andrew. Yeah.
You got Davis and Wiggins mixed up. Again, there's a lot of names.
Lots of names.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. We're not perfect. We're not Stephen A.
Them going together, I just don't see him guarding LeBron. Like,
no.
I just don't see him.
No, he's too
small. Like I said, and the thing is, they just don't have the grit like how the Lakers do, personally.
Yeah.
Because they play in the paint. That's the grittiest part.
Who gets flustered easily.
Very easily.
And 2 or 3 years ago, Klay Thompson could guard LeBron James. Possibly. Maybe.
No, I don't think that. Personally.
But now he's nowhere near the defender he used to be.
100%. That's not his fault, though, but it is.
No, injuries happen, and that's just the way it is. But you have Lakers in
7.
In 7.
Yeah, but just because I feel like the history between those two great players are not going to come out. They're going to want to see who goes first.
But the others,
yeah.
I think, in this series. Obviously, the storylines are LeBron and Steph.
Yeah, of course.
But last night we saw
people step up.
It wasn't LeBron and Steph that decided that basketball game. It wasn't. It was everybody else.
Yeah.
So everybody has the Lakers here. People could go, well, you shot this after game 1. What was your pick before game 1? Has it changed at all? Or did you always have Lakers in 7?
I always had Lakers in 7.
Yeah,
always had. Okay, I had Lakers in 6. Just the way it is.
Yeah.
Look, every pick that I made here, and I can't speak for everybody else because I'm not in anybody's mind, but that's who I already had winning the series.
Yep.
And I'm letting the guys over here talk. I'm letting the young people talk because I talk too much because it's my channel. So I'm like, other people can go ahead.
Oh, come on, the viewers love you. They want to hear your voice, Carl.
Right.
Come on.
But I figure I'd let everybody else have a say in this, and we're going to have another say. All right, so the next series, do you guys have Lakers taking Denver 5, 6, 7? What do you have?
Okay, before we get into that, the thing that, and I said before, high-level basketball. When it comes to the playoffs, that's all I want to see is high-level basketball. Obviously you want it to be your team, but if it's not, for me, I love basketball. It doesn't matter. I'm a basketball purist. I'll watch it no matter what. Mm-hmm. I want to see high-level basketball. Yeah. And I think in the past couple years, some of these games have not been high-level. I mean, you can go, what's the NBA? You know what I'm saying when you see high-level basketball. Yeah. But, so, Nuggets, Lakers. Lakers in, I don't know. Lakers in 7. I think 7. It goes 7 because of Denver's depth. It goes 7.
So you got Lakers in 7?
Lakers in 7.
I'm going to be the one dissenting voice. I'm going to pick Denver in 7.
Okay.
I feel that.
Because it's like, I just feel like they're a tough matchup. I don't think people figured them out yet. And then on top of that, the winner of this series is coming out of a dogfight. And then it's
going to be like,
pretty
tired.
You're going to go against a whole different animal, and it's like, it's going to take them 3 games to figure them out. And then they don't have 3 games to figure out Denver.
He does bring up a good point of fatigue, and I'm not talking physical fatigue, I'm talking mental fatigue. How's your mind? Keep your mind right. And all the stars talk about all the time. If you watch post-game interviews, it's get your rest, get your sleep, get yourself ready, mind and body ready to go.
Yeah. Right.
And you bring up that's a hard, and it's also the elevation. I know it's not huge because it's not outdoors, but the elevation is still there when you go to Denver.
Absolutely.
And Denver's depth is going to bring this thing to 7 games. But I don't think the Nuggets have anybody who can stop AD, and the Nuggets don't have anybody who can stop LeBron. Mm-hmm. And if you have those two, it makes it really hard. And it's hard for me to count out LeBron James. It really is.
I will never count out LeBron James. I mean, ever since his rookie year up until now, I have not counted him out.
He's done it so many times that people go, obviously he's older now, and I think he wins another MVP in his career. Regular season, no. But if anybody's going to do it at this age, it's going to be LeBron James.
Yeah, well, off topic, but talking about LeBron, I don't think it's him, it's who's around him.
Yeah.
And you saw that with because you saw that with Westbrook.
Yeah.
It didn't fit and it didn't work. And the MO for LeBron for 15 years has been put shooters around LeBron and he'll take care of the rest.
Of course.
Look at the Miami days. I want to say Reggie Miller, but Ray Allen, Shane Battier, Mike Miller, Mario Chalmers.
Yeah.
Those guys could shoot. Look at the Cleveland days. I know J.R. Smith gets a lot of hate, but J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert, Kevin Love was primarily a three-point shooter. That has been the recipe of a LeBron team, and this is a LeBron team.
See, that's the thing with LeBron. You got to take the scoring pressure off of him.
Yeah.
Everything else he could take care of, but LeBron is not necessarily a scorer. He's going to get on fire. He's going to make up for
crucial buckets.
Exactly.
Yep. All right. So who do you have and why?
This is a very tough series, just because of the fact that what they said. I truly believe it's going to be the Nuggets. I just don't know 6 and 7.
Take them, my team.
Just because of the fact that, yes, of course, no one's going to stop AD. No one's going to stop LeBron. But the thing is, you got to remember.
Everybody else.
Jokic, he doesn't need the ball to score.
To make everybody better.
Yeah, AD cannot stop him from passing that ball. He can stop him from scoring the ball, but he can't stop him from passing that ball.
Yeah, and we talk about it. And I already said it. Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, exactly.
The others and Jamal Murray and those guys. Jamal Murray's a tough guard. He is, and I think that they'll put Vanderbilt on him like they do Curry. He's a tough guard.
Yeah.
And I can't disagree, but I'm obviously there's bias, and I'm going to pick LeBron James over everybody.
Of course.
It's just who I am.
Yeah.
So, get to the finals is Lakers. So you have Nuggets Heat. You have Nuggets Heat.
Yeah.
Who do you have? Since I have Lakers Heat, why don't we start with you two? Nuggets Heat. Who do you have between Nuggets and Heat?
I'm gonna start off with Cliff.
Okay, this is from an unbiased standpoint.
Unbiased?
Unbiased.
So the heart's over there.
Yeah, the heart's over there.
Okay.
I really think it's gonna go. If it's Nuggets versus Heat, it's definitely gonna go Heat in 6, 100%. 6. Just because, like I said, experience, talent, and grit comes in effect.
And the hottest team.
person.
They're on fire. That's the other thing
Fire.
people forget. The Lakers, since the trade deadline, are. Let's see. Well, they closed the year at 15-9 to make the play-in, and with the starting lineup, D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, Vanderbilt, LeBron, and AD, they are now 10-2. But not the point. The point is being the hottest team.
Yeah, and I feel like they haven't been, like I said, experienced enough to be in that position. Like, I don't think anyone on that team, when the time is to get crunch time, who do you think that's going to take that ball? Who? Really?
I mean, they can give it to Jokic, but he's got a tough cover, and he's not beating anybody up. They're going to give it to Murray.
Yeah, Murray. But of course, if anyone can know about Murray,
going to knock him off.
Yeah, of course. And then, like I said, Vincent can guard him. Max Schroeder can guard him. I'm not like all of these people. We have enough people to guard him. There's one of him, and there's 3 of us. Like I said, depth goes a long way, and I still feel like our team depth is way better. And plus, with the experience we have, because half of our team has been in the deep playoffs before.
So you are saying that a number 8 seed, and I don't know if I'm right about this or not, but I don't think an 8 seed has ever won a championship.
And like I
Matt,
said,
you guys can look that up on your free time.
Feel
free to leave it in the comments section below to tell me I'm wrong. I'm okay.
And like
I will live. My ego's not that big. I can be wrong. But I don't think an 8 seed has ever won a championship. I know that they have won series, but I don't think they've ever won a title. So you're saying an 8 seed
100%.
will win a title?
Yeah. I mean, we've already beat the 1 seed in the East. The 1 seed in the Nuggets. And remember, we weren't even supposed to be in the playoffs. We were in the play-in. And you
lost your first play.
Yeah, lost the first one.
But also, I don't think that the Heat are, the regular season injuries and stuff played a part.
Yeah, of course.
And it will go down in history if they win it. The 8 seed will be the winner. But they're not an 8 seed, historically speaking. They have a better roster than an 8 seed.
But I just personally feel like their roster and our roster is, I personally believe, because of our players and how much we are willing to fight and go down. Because like you seen Vincent last night. He ran through the sidelines. He had a very bad back injury, and you could have saw that hurt. But guess what? He got up and he kept running to the other side. You don't see players. You seen AD? No offense, but
none taken, man. Man's like glass.
Glass.
Why do you think Charles Barkley, national treasure, by the way, Charles Barkley, street clothes Anthony Davis? Why do you think he calls him that? Because he's always in damn street clothes sitting on a sideline.
Literally, and like I said, I know there's multiple people that will take that shot and take that ball. And like I said, we've been playing. Even Jimmy Butler, he's been shooting at the 3 out of what, 40%, 44%. He wasn't like that last year. Like I said, we just get better and better every year.
And I think you make a good point of every team needs a number one leader.
Yes, 100%.
And for Miami, their leader is Jimmy Butler.
Of course.
Absolutely.
And however the leader acts and however the leader carries himself, the other guys are going to follow. If they see Jimmy Butler diving on the floor and flying over the crowd for a loose ball,
they're going to do the same thing.
they're going to do the same thing.
That's
And you
right.
see it from LeBron, too. If they see LeBron, the 38-year-old, willing to stand in there and get hit, take a charge, everybody else is going to follow suit.
Absolutely.
Of
He's
course.
diving over the bench. The guy who doesn't, Malik Beasley, will dive over the bench. So you have the Heat beating the Nuggets in the finals. In what?
Six.
In six. And who is your finals MVP?
Oh, that was easy. Jimmy.
Jimmy.
That's
Okay. What about you?
All right. Well, I'm just going to keep it short. I see in the series between Denver and Miami, I see it going 7. I see Miami winning. And my MVP, obviously, is going to be Butler. He just has that dog in him.
That's a pretty unanimous,
Yeah.
unanimous pick.
Yeah.
Is going to be Jimmy Butler. And you see, if you guys watch FS1 or ESPN or Fox Sports or whatever, these guys sit up here and, they're on right now. I think who's up there? Oh, it's LeBron and it's Curry. They talk every day, literally every day, because they have nothing, because obviously that's their job. You see them
And
talk.
draws headlines.
And they talk every day about obviously what happened the night before. And the reason we're talking into the future is because we don't have time to sit down every day and do a podcast.
Yeah.
We all have jobs. Well, I have a job, quote unquote.
Yeah,
So we're busy people.
Yeah.
So that's why we're trying to forecast into the future. But I agree with you guys. If the Heat make it, if Jimmy Butler would be the MVP, the Heat win a chip.
Yeah.
I have the Lakers beating the Nuggets, and then I think that, and that would be a great series too. Lakers Heat again, just because of in front of a crowd.
People make fun of the bubble all the time, but I think that was probably one of the best.
The bubble, they only want to discredit the bubble because LeBron won it.
Yeah. 100%.
If anybody else won it, they wouldn't want it. They wouldn't say a
shit.
word.
Because they were
And
talking
they never
about.
took away the Spurs one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's true, and plus, like, the bubble was probably the most action-packed
It was
because of
good
Donovan Mitchell
basketball.
with Murray, that back-to-back. It was just a great basketball. You couldn't get mad at it. Seeing that, 100%.
But so I have the Heat Lakers series would be great just because of the history between Pat and Spo and LeBron and being in Miami and now being in LA. I think it's Lakers in 7. And it's because I think LeBron, if he gets to the finals this year, he's just too determined to lose another one.
Oh, of course.
And he wants that 5th ring, especially
Like Curry got the
if
fourth.
they win this 5th ring, how hard he worked to get there from where they started with this season, with the roster to where they had now. And you got to think about it. From every series up until now, the Lakers are not going to have a home until if they make the finals and it's the Heat. They're not going to have a home game in Game 7 because they're the 7th seed.
yeah.
They will have a home game in Game 7 in LA because the Heat are the 8th seed. So I have Lakers in 7, and
Who's your MVP?
who do I think should be the MVP? Anthony Davis.
Okay.
Who are they gonna give the MVP to?
LeBron.
Just because of historical narrative and yada yada yada. LeBron James.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
fair.
and I can't argue because, well, I love LeBron James.
Yeah.
There's no secret to anybody. I love LeBron James, but Davis will be the integral piece. But I think that even you could argue LeBron, even with Davis playing the way he
Yeah.
is still the most valuable player.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
if LeBron's out,
Mhm.
No one's out there to put. Davis takes care of the scoring and the defense, and LeBron handles everything else. He's just so smart in his head that so Lakers in 7. LeBron gets his 5th ring. Lakers get their 18th championship and overtake the Boston Celtics for most championships as a franchise. Ultimate.
And y'all gotta stop calling LeBron not to go after this chip if he does. If he does, but I don't believe it. We'll see.
Yeah, that's a debate. That debate is going to go on until we all die and then resurface as caterpillars in 120 years.
I like to thank Terry's Pub and Grill
Once again,
for having
yep.
us here.
Great venue, wonderful outside, love the atmosphere.
I kept my mouth shut, so you people don't have to complain about me interrupting these young men right here. You got all of the basketball stuff that you wanted. Nelson didn't show up again, so he has no reason to sit over there and try to challenge either one of these two about anything. You had your chance, you lost out. Thank you, Terry's Pub and Grill.
We appreciate
Make sure to come over here and get yourself some burgers, some fries, some soda, all that good stuff. Pool table, have some fun. But also, leave in the comment section below anything you want to talk about. Obviously, questions, arguments, whatever. And if you have, obviously we're probably going to do another one of these. At our next show, leave down below anything you want us to talk about. If it's NHL playoffs, if it's MLB, if it's NBA, if it's whatever, leave it down and we can take it into consideration and go from there.
Like, share, and subscribe, people. We're getting some views, but we're not getting enough likes. Like what you see.
If you like it, subscriptions help. We see the subscriptions. Liking gets YouTube to push. Liking it really, hitting that thumbs up really pushes YouTube to push the videos out into your feed, or the YouTube algorithm is what they say. We appreciate that.
Definitely. All right. Until next time, folks. Take care.